think it's good. Oh, I think we're good. Hey everyone, welcome to back day, March 2021. We're gonna get straight into it. I'm warming up with 135. Make sure I'm in the picture here. 20 reps. Do what weight makes sense for you if you're following along. And do some kind of body weight, not body weight, but warm up first, treadmill, elliptical, bike, something, just to get yourself warmed up. All right. Now that got the warm-up set done, if you're new, the way I do this is I get a warm-up set. I'm using the actual lift itself to warm up with lightweight, 20 reps. Then we're gonna move up. I'm gonna do 205 next for 15, and then move up again to a hard set where it's pretty much all out between 12 and 15 reps. So if you're following along, that's what we're doing here. Once again, I'm not a coach, I'm not a doctor. Follow your own risk. If you haven't worked out before, then obviously start easy. And if you've got questions about anything, leave them in the comments. I'll answer those as we go along between sets. Let me know where you're from. If you're watching the replay, I'm gonna have all the lifts and timestamps in the description. But if you're watching live, I have all the lifts from last month's workout in there, so I have something to shoot for, to beat, for improvement. And if you're watching the replay, then the numbers down there are from what I did today. Woke up this morning like just my joints are really stiff, and I can feel it in my legs too. Like I definitely needed that first set to just loosen everything up. My hips were feeling kind of stiff, but I just push through it as long as it isn't actually hurting. Make sure this is running good. Yeah, all right, cool. Good to go. All right, so what we're looking for here is 15 reps, and this is a weight that you should be able to keep going at least another 5 reps or so. These will be on the next set. $205 for 15. Oh man. You ever have one of those days where you just don't feel like working out? How about you, babe?
For what?
You ever have one of those days you feel like you don't feel like working out?
Okay.
Every day? Well, like I tell my kids, you don't always have to want to do everything we tell you, but there's a reason for it. And there's a reason for exercising, obviously staying healthy for one, but I want to improve, get stronger, all that good stuff. And when I don't feel like working out, I remember back to last year when there were times, I think the longest I was gone was like 2.5 weeks in a hotel almost the whole time, not able to go out and do anything. And I would have loved to have a gym then. So I try to remember how that felt and be glad that I have this here and just push through it. Because once I get into it, after 10-15 minutes, I'm usually good to go at that point. But sometimes getting started can be a little tough. I just got an extra set of these in the mail yesterday, so I'm excited about that. Give me a little more cushion when I drop this heavier weight. Let's see, I'm going 265 this time. Because when I put my regular 45s on with these before, last month, it was very jarring when it hit the ground. Let's see, 225, 35, 45. Gotta make sure I got my math right. Make sure you give yourself enough rest between sets too, so that you're able to really push hard and get this. But I'm using straps for these heavier ones. I also had to get like 3 different vaccines on Sunday for work. My whole body has just been achy for a few days, and in that last set I can still feel it. Just my back muscles I haven't worked out my back in 3 or 4 days, but it's just kind of achy a little bit pulling up. So I don't know how many I'll be able to get with this. At least 12 or 10, between 10 and 15. I like to get the 15 time under tension here, but the idea is getting at least 40 seconds. This usually takes me over a minute to do this many, but you want to get that higher volume, or you could do fewer reps but really slow ones and really get the time under tension for hypertrophy, for building muscle rather than just strength. All right. Love getting nervous before a set. Oh man. 265. I think I did 250 on my last live workout, so it's still already an improvement from there. But let's see what we can do. Remember, good form to failure also means failure of good form, because if you start doing bad form, you're going to hurt yourself. I made it. All 15. It's funny, excuse me. The last 5 felt easier than the first 10. I could definitely do more weight, but I said in previous videos, I've had lower back issues for like 10 years. A long time. So I'm trying to just slowly push it up. Don't want to just jump up really high in numbers. I did max out for the first time a few days ago. Wanted to see what I could do, got 350. Posted that on Instagram. What's up, Omnia? If you got any questions, let me know. But I got 350, so that's pretty cool. So even when this starts getting hard, you gotta remember, like, just because it's getting tough doesn't mean you can't do anymore. I wanted to quit around 10, but after knowing I did 350, I'm like, well, I'm what, 85 pounds less than that right now, so I know I can keep going with it. So now the next set, dropping down to 10% less and trying to hit another 12 to 15 reps. And after this, we'll move on to the next exercise. These extra bouncy weights are pretty nice though. And if you're joining in, make sure you give the video a like. Help get other people seeing them. So more people can learn. All right, heart rate's back down from like 170 to 120. Should be good enough. What are we at, 13 minutes? Definitely feel my hips too. That those first 3 or 4 reps is probably why they were more difficult as well. Still feeling a little stiff. The idea of dropping the weight is if I could do another 15 with that same weight, then chances are probably wasn't going heavy enough. So I'm dropping, let's see, what are we at? 235. Actually, I did 265. This needs to be 240. 10% is about 25 pounds. I'm dropping 10% of the weight, trying to hit that same number again. All right, now we're ready. How many do you think?
What was the weight?
240.
What did you do last time?
I did 265.
5?
5, I just did 15. My wife's here, but she's reading a book, so she isn't really paying attention. But that's cool. She just wanted to hang out. All right. There we go. Oh man. Tell you what, when you're doing a set for over a minute, that gets tough. Heart rate's like high 160s. If you, I paused there for a second at like 9 or 10. I wasn't thinking about stopping, but I actually had to burp. I don't want to do that mid rep. Okay, so next up, I'm gonna be doing, I'll tell you after I get this racked. If you're following along in a gym, next up would be some kind of like bent over barbell row or a like a T-bar row, something like that. I could do the barbell row, but I'm not going to just because that's unnecessary strain on my lower back, bending over for how much weight I would need to do. So my alternative is putting the bar here and doing inverted rows. Use my body weight. So that's the plan for me. Which you can do the same thing if that's what you want. But if you have more equipment options, obviously you can do some other type of row. My goal is to get up around like 315, doing 3 plates for, or at least 300. 3 plates for those deadlifts. Once I do, I'm gonna try to start slowing down the, what's it, eccentric? The negative, basically to work harder, stay at the same weight, not move up weight too fast. I guess I need to move this out of the way. But as I said, make sure you're getting enough rest. 6-to-1 work-rest ratio if you're really pushing hard. So like if it was a minute, you could rest up to 6 minutes. Make sure you're recovering enough for your next set. And how much you doing? 18 from Belgium, 1.5 years. Yeah, man, awesome. I've been to Belgium a few times. Right now, I did on the deadlifts initially 265. I did 15, and then I dropped it 10%, so down to 240 for another 15. If since I hit 15, my next workout, I'm gonna raise up another 5 pounds. So that's how I do a 12, between 12 and 15 rep range, 12 minimum. Once I hit 15, then I move the weight up the next workout. Okay, so what I need now is a bench. Sorry if it's loud. So I'm basically gonna put my feet on here, do a hanging row, pulling myself up to the bar. The thing is, when you're doing this, make sure you're not hanging like this. You want to keep your butt up so that you're really forcing yourself, all your body weight up, and not hanging down like this. Just like if you were doing a row, you keep your back straight, not like this. Really focus on engaging the muscles. So let's get a little bit closer view here. Tilt down a bit. There we go. All right. I would rather do barbell rows, but I just don't want to risk hurting my back more because it is not fun to be out of it for a few weeks to a month. So, like I said, butt up in the air, just pull up to the bar and down slowly. So that's 15 on the first set. Next I'm gonna add some weight, shooting for 12 to 15, then a little more weight, 10 to 15 after that. So I'm gonna use a 5 and then a 10. Obviously, if you're doing a barbell row, then lift the bar up. Let's raise this back up some. So, I can't see myself. All right, so, I just had something in mind. Rest in a couple minutes here with, what was I thinking? Like I said before, trying to focus on the negative, slow on the way back down to really work the muscles, not just cranking through the reps as fast as you can, which you really have to work on your ego for that because we want to lift bigger and heavier things. But if you're doing it uncontrolled, it's kind of like, what's the point, you know? So be controlled. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Focus on improving, and the best way to do that is control the weight and use the right amount. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. This is a Rogue rack that folds into the wall, and they have a new attachment, the pulley system that goes through it. It's a weight stack, so you can do rows, cable rows, pretty much any type of cable work you want. It's like $1,000. I was about ready to pull the trigger on it, and I called them, come to find out it's not actually compatible with my rack. One, because it's not bolted into the ground, which, I mean, the ground supporting the weight, it would be fine, but their rules say it has to be bolted to the ground. But two, because I have the shorter version, it's not actually long enough to fit the whole weight stack in there. So I'm looking for other options now for some kind of pulley system I can hook up to that. I've been looking into a few things, but if you know of anything, let me know, because I really want to get back into doing cable rows, you know, lat pull downs, all that kind of good stuff. So if you do know something, let me know. All right. So here, just putting a 5-pound weight on my chest, doing the same thing. Shooting for, 12 to 15, there we go. And I need to update my numbers on there for my deadlift. Remember, control throughout the whole movement. That last one, I started to feel it in my arm. If you're new here, I've had to modify a lot of my back workout movements because, gosh, I guess it was almost a year ago, maybe like 10 months or so. I was stupid and was trying to see how heavy pull-ups I could do. So I had 70 pounds to me. I think I did 4 or 5, which it was fine, nothing hurt, but the next day, right here started hurting, and it just slowly got worse and worse to where it hurts just to hold a cup like this. I was always just having my arm hang there, trying not to lift it. It was in pain a lot. I finally started realizing, I mean, I still can't do pull-ups this way, it hurts. I'm not even trying right now doing that, but I started doing curls slowly, 5 pounds, and finally I'm back up to doing 35s again. I can feel it, but it doesn't really hurt. But it was just pain. I realized I was always sleeping like this, so it was always twisted, not able to relax. I started trying to sleep with my arm straight out, stretched out, or else up on a pillow on my other side. And it's slowly been getting better. But injuries, if something hurts, let it get better. Don't do like I did and just try to keep pushing through it, because then you're gonna hurt yourself, then you're not gonna be able to work out, then you're gonna be mad. Like me, pull-ups are one of my favorite, pull-ups and chin-ups are my favorite lifts, but can't do it right now. Almost a year later still. But still find alternative exercises you can do. And, you know, just make it work. Something, you know, something's better than nothing as long as it's not making your injury worse. So here's the last set, up in the weight again. This time I have 10 pounds on my chest, 10 to 15 reps. Like on my last one I did 15, so my next workout I'm gonna use a 10 for that set. See what I can get on this. I gotta remind myself to control because I don't really like doing these and I wanna just crank through them fast, but really control that negative. That's where you're getting a lot of the work done. See, it's still pretty heavy, so I think my next workout I'm gonna be doing, I'll do 10 on the second set, but then 10 again on the next one. Because I don't wanna raise both weights too high, too fast. Let's raise this back up. All right, so what do we have next? Dumbbell rows. Gotta love this. Get this set up here. How's that look? Pretty much in view. Let me tilt it down a little more. There we go. So, let's see, I think, update this here. This is my tracker for my, I do push-pull leg split, so I got bench, you know, chest day, back day, and then legs, and I do biceps on leg day. Just so I'm not working my arm too much on the back day since I'm already using a lot. But keep track of what you're doing, because if you just go to the gym without any goal or just kind of aimlessly walking around just doing random stuff, you're not gonna, it's still good for you obviously, but you're not gonna be able to accurately track what you're doing and improve over time, because you don't, I don't even remember what I did last time. That's why I gotta keep these boards here. Whenever I leave home and go to the gym somewhere else, I take pictures of it so I know what to shoot for, because progressive overload is how to build muscle, how to improve, and if you don't know what you did last time, then you can't try to strive for more. So I look at those, think, okay, I want to try to get either more weight, more reps, longer time under tension. Those are all ways of progressive overload. We can talk more about that. You can do some chest and triceps. Awesome, man. Thanks for coming in. I'll see you later. And as far as pausing between sets, typically, I was talking earlier, 6-to-1 work rest ratio. So if you're doing a minute for a set, that's up to 6 minutes of rest. I'm usually around, try to keep it 3 minutes or less most of the time, unless like with those deadlifts, I'm really gassed and need to recover enough. But basically, you don't want to do just a minute. You want to do enough to where you can give it your all again on the next set. So I'm doing 45s for this first set on these dumbbell rows. And once again, want to really focus on controlling the weight here, not just yanking it up. Oh, I can lift heavy weight. Up, squeeze, and let it down slowly. You gotta check your ego. Forget what other people are doing. I could get a 70 here and throw it up using my whole body, but I want to focus on the lats and really make them grow. So you'll see what I'm talking about here. So back straight, up, pause, and let it back down. You'd be surprised how much more difficult it gets when you slow it down like that and really squeeze and control it, because it starts to burn too. Now we gotta do the other side. And if you have one side that's stronger than the other, do the weaker side first. That's my left lat is a little bit smaller than the right. I think part of that's just from my injury and probably favoring one side more than the other when I was still pushing harder than I should have. Doing exercises that I shouldn't have, but I always start with the left side now to make sure I'm not doing extra on my other side or trying to swing it up just to get the same amount of reps the other side did. So next I'm moving up to 50s, shooting for 12 to 15 reps. And when we're doing this, once again, that weight all the way down, I bring it up and try to not turn my body so much, but really pull my arm all the way back as far as I can, because then that really engages your lat as far as you can get it. And I haven't sweated a lot working out in a while. It's 80 degrees out today. I think last month I was doing this, it was like, do you remember what it was? I remember didn't I get the bar and put it in the fireplace? So I took the bar and put it in front of the fireplace before my workout because it was so cold. Does it hurt just to hold the bar? All right, about 30 more seconds. So 12 to 15. Once I hit 15, I'm gonna move up the next time. As long as I'm doing it with good form. Okay. Here comes the fun part. I gotta remind myself every time, control it, do it slow, even when it starts getting hard. As slow as you can. Time under tension, engage the muscle. Do it correctly. Because if I'm coming to the gym, taking the time out to do it, I want to get the most out of it. Almost. I think that's 14. Oh, that was tough. That last one. I felt like I swung it a little bit. These are tough too because you're already tired after doing one side. Then you gotta keep it going for another minute with the other side. Yeah, that last one was definitely easier on this side than it was on that side. All right, rest another couple minutes, 2 or 3, depending on how much you need. I'm gonna move up 5 more pounds. I don't have a 55, so I'm just gonna rest this extra 5-pound weight over my hand while I'm doing the next set. Once again, if you have questions about anything, post them in the comments. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep rambling about whatever pops into my head that's exercise related. One more set of this, and then after that, it would be like cable lat pull downs, but I can't do that obviously. And I can't do pull-ups, which would be my alternative, so I'm skipping that for now. But you can do that. You basically do the same thing, 3 sets. First one, 15 reps, where you could do a few more. The next one, 12 to 15, where you're pretty much failing. And then one more heavier again, 10 to 15 to failure. I should have you be my moderator, babe, so you can answer people's questions. Or you can at least type the answers that I say to you. So they're there for the replay. We'll get there soon. I'm gonna eventually get another camera, have some multiple angles, make it like a workout TV show. Or not. Okay. Also, if you're here, let me know where you're from. We had one viewer from, what was it, Belgium? Yeah, that's awesome. It's cool how all around the world, I'm in Alabama in the US and got people from Belgium here, so let me know. All right, 10 to 15, remember, not just trying to get the weight up, but controlling it the whole time. It's a lot easier said than done, but you can definitely do it. And this is awkward holding these extra weights, but it's all good. Do what you gotta do to make it work. I'm not against cheating, you know, if you want to get one more rep in there just to get something, but you don't want to go through your whole set just trying to throw the weight up like that. Because doing a few cheat reps at the end is just one more way to progressively overload. But you don't want to do your whole set with bad form. Not necessarily bad form, but using the rest of your body to get the weight up. Because once you get it here, you can at least control the negative down again, which you're still getting a lot of work done there. Okay, done with that. Moving on to the last workouts. Once again, if you have access to some cables, you can do some lat pull downs or just pull-ups. Go ahead and do that. But I don't, so I'm gonna move on to dumbbell shrugs. We're doing 3 rounds. These are supersets, so dumbbell shrugs, supersetted with dumbbell pullovers. Now, also if you have cable machines, you can get on cable machines, you know, bend over, straight back, arms straight, do cable pulls like this where you're working your lats, which is what I do when I go to gyms that have them. But again, here, I don't have that option. So I'm gonna start out with 70 pounds on these dumbbell shrugs. I'm actually going to use my straps for these as well, because this hurt arm, just holding the weights like this, starts to hurt it. I don't know what's going on with that, but if something hurts and you can do something to make it not hurt, then that's probably the smart thing to do. And using those straps helps with that. What are we at, 42 minutes? Yeah, we're good on time. It's my water. So the first set, 15 to 20. With weight that you could do another, I don't know, like 3 or 4 reps, or 3 or 5, something like that. Hi, my parents are here, but they're not lifting today, just lifting the kids. So, once again, obviously you don't need straps for this. I don't need them. My right arm's fine, but it just starts to hurt that bicep, and why not make it better in any way that I can? Sweetie, is that show over?
No.
Here we go. What, honey?
I said my flip-flops are outside.
Oh. And that's one of my least favorite exercises. But, oh, whatever, it's not a big deal. Let's work through it. Got some kids going through now. All right, so now going 50s on the dumbbell pullovers. Is the bench far enough in view? Yeah. So the thing with this is make sure you're not bending your arms to bring the weight up, because then you're working your triceps a lot more. You want to keep them straight and really work your lats and it's called serratus or something like that. Honey, that's loud. Unfortunately, I don't have any 60s, so I gotta go straight to 70s. Oh well. Anna, where are you going? Where are you going, honey?
She'll either come with us or stay here with us.
Anna, come give me a kiss. Come here. Come here. Bye. Got a sad kid over here.
Okay, listen, if you don't want to
Kids are funny. I don't want to go, I'm sad. Okay, bye. No, I want to go. So we got 2 more sets. Next one is heavier weight, 12 to 15 reps in the same weight one more time, 10 to 15 reps. So ideally, if you're able to get only 12, you probably won't be able to hit that again if you went all out. So that's why the rep changes, or the rep ranges change from set to set. So get these straps back on. Get ready for these shrugs. Jill, what are they doing?
They're right there. It's like next game.
Said you're going?
No.
You just had
They
Mexican.
not eat anything right now.
Isn't that what you had for lunch?
Yeah.
No, thanks. Alright, so I got 80s for this set. 12 to 15 reps. Once again, we're not just trying to shoot through these, shrugging them up and down really fast. The goal is to up, squeeze, control on the way down. Ooh, which is, once again, a lot easier said than done. Yeah, I can't get them up as high anymore. These straps turn my hands black, looking all dirty. That leather. Why did I put that weight back up there? When I knew I was gonna have to use it again. That was dumb. Wasn't me. They need something? Was that someone else?
I want to imagine someone else or a cat.
A cat? Honked?
That's some favorite cat.
Oh man. I was gonna be able to do more, but the last one was pretty tough. Forget what I got last time. I mean, I got it written up there. I got 15 once, but look on here. I got, oh, lovely. Got 13 last time, so I guess that was a worse lift than before. I have to go out of town a lot. It always stinks when I get back home because it usually takes me just one full session, 3 days for each push, pull, and legs to really do legs, push, and pull. But just to hit all the same weights again, then progress from there, just from not being able to work out the same, from being tired, multiple time zones, all that stuff. Which, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, if you're just pushing as hard as you can each time, it doesn't really matter because you're going as hard as you can, regardless if you didn't hit the same weight. So the big thing is just give it your all. Give it your all. Last set here, same weights, 10 to 15 reps. You do some partials at the end. If you do hit 15, or even when you fail, if it's not 15 like with this, might not be able to get all the way up anymore, but just kind of shrug some faster ones out after that just to get a little extra in there. With this, it's a little bit harder, but if you have the cable, you can do some partial reps down here still. So, just what makes sense for what you're doing. It's the last set, so you're really just trying to fatigue the muscle as much as you can at the end of this because it's all you got left for today. It's really bad grammar. All you got left for today. All you have left. My parents would not be happy if they were listening. My grammar. She's not even listening, she's right here. Now those partials, I gave it barely two extra fast ones. Yeah, I really don't like shrugs. Not my favorite. I much prefer actually, if I was in the gym, I wouldn't have an alternative. I'd be doing the same thing. Last thing here, are nice controlled reps. You don't want to just go through them fast. Control it, really feel the muscle stretch. Focus on using these muscles to bring it up, not using your triceps. It's a lot harder when you try to take your triceps out of the movement. Set the weight up before you get in position. Would have made that a lot easier. last time. Even though it's fewer reps. Like I said, you may not always hit the same reps, but if you're pushing as hard as you can, that's what really matters. Those numbers are just a gauge to help you with having something to shoot for. But there's all kinds of factors. You got fatigue, you got, what else? Oh, how well you slept, if your muscles are sore, if, how you've been eating. I mean, there's so many factors. But no worries, pushed all out, done for today. So next workout's gonna be next week, leg day. Probably, I don't know, Thursday, Friday, something like that. Hope you learned something. If you have questions, post them below. Once again, if you're joining and watching the replay, obviously this is the end, so if you haven't figured it out by now, it's probably too late, but all of the lifts for today will be updated in the description with timestamps. Let me know if you followed along, what your numbers were. Once again, the numbers aren't a big deal. It's just to track how well you're doing. So thanks for joining. We'll see you in the next video. Later.